Today's road trip brings us to Nova Scotia's famous capital, Halifax. More specifically, the Dartmouth side of the harbour. Halifax and Dartmouth used to be separate cities, but were amalgamated into the Halifax Regional Municipality, or HRM, in 1996. Nova Scotia boasts the most craft alcohol producers in all of Atlantic Canada, and the HRM, with a population of over 430,000, is certainly a prime destination spot for many of those producers to make and sell their product. Dartmouth is experiencing a revival of culture and industry as new businesses are setting up shop, including today's subject, New Scotland Brewing.
Today we're in Dartmouth. It's part of the Halifax Regional Municipality in Nova Scotia.
We're going to speak to the owners of New Scotland Brewing Company, who've been open for a few years but actually started out as a clothing company. Let's go take a look.
Hey, I'm Scott Saccary. I'm one of the owners here at New Scotland Brewing. I focus on taproom management and sales.
I'm Kevin Saccary. I am one of the co-owners of New Scotland Brewing and New Scotland Clothing, and I focus on brand and marketing and sales and
the overall look and feel.
Yeah, the overall look and feel of the brand.
So 2014, we came up with the idea for New Scotland Clothing, and we started that in Kevin's basement and had an online store, and we were just fulfilling orders online, and then we grew into a small shop in downtown Dartmouth. And then a few years later, Kevin and I were sitting around a bar and having a beer, and we thought it would be a really cool idea to have a beer with our branding on it. So then that started the discussion around craft beer, and we didn't know how to necessarily brew beer ourselves. We have a friend, Mike Gillespie, we teamed up with. The whole idea of New Scotland Brewing came from that, and then we kind of sharing the brands, and then we decided to open up a craft brewery in downtown Dartmouth in 2018, so we put that together.
My name is Mike Gillespie. I'm the head brewer here. I've always had an interest in beer. It's something that my father did, that I did with him. It's always carried through in my life, so it's very important to me. I homebrewed for a long time, did it badly for a long time, and figured it out as I went, and got it to a place where I could stand behind it and feel confident about it. I just really like to ferment things. Hot sauce, kombucha, cider, mead, beer. It's a science that I really enjoy, and everything is a little bit different, so different challenges come with each one of them. I prefer to brew hoppy beer, but that's not necessarily for everybody. So my philosophy around brewing is that I want to have something that any beer drinker would be able to come in and enjoy. So we have a lot of beers, very different from German light lagers to double IPAs to super strong stouts as the seasons go around.
We make everything locally in Canada. Our clothing is Canadian made. Our brew that we make and all our products are all Canadian made, obviously, as well. And so right now they're separate locations, but we're hoping to eventually have them together as one someday down the road in downtown Dartmouth. So
The community vibe here in downtown Dartmouth, it's very unique and vibrant, as Kev said. We have our music, we have our local brews, we have like our neighbors come down and brew here in the space with us just on their free time. It's just, something fun to do. There's lots of breweries and cideries like local here, like our friends Brightwood Brewing up the street and Lake City Cider. We kind of like neighbors, we share. If we run out of hops, the guys will come bring us hops, and we'll share grain if we need to, or if we run out of cans or whatever. So there's that vibe that happens in downtown Dartmouth. We're partnered with Stone Pizza around the corner, so you can actually sit down in our tap room, order from their menu, and they make it down the street and bring it down. So that's another partnership that's tied to the community.
Well, we're here for the locals to come and experience. The community here in downtown Dartmouth is really what sustains us.
So the music started with, Kev and I always played music together, played in bands and things, and I play guitar, and Kev plays harmonica, and we both sing some original songs together, and we always wanted to have that vibe as a part of our brewery, and we like to focus on local original artists that can come and play their music and promote their music. So we've set up that space. Dylan Jewers, he's one of our employees here, our entertainment manager. He's done a fabulous job over the last couple of years of booking a lot of local artists. He has a small record label himself, so we've built this cool vibe around the venue space here, which is very important for us, and it ties in well with the brand and everything. So
I've done the music thing for a long time. I've got a degree in music from Acadia. That's an important part of my life. We love our music. We're all supportive of musicians, and we want to have a high standard of musical entertainment in here.
Mike's a musician too, so Mike, he toured across Canada in like a hip-hop band. He was a beatboxer, so he's an accomplished musician as well. So the three of us together all have a
Drummer as well.
Drummer,
Guitar, bass.
He plays in bands around town. So
I think he has an ECMA.
yeah, he has
A
an
producer
ECMA
ECMA.
from producing from the 90s, I think. He doesn't. He's pretty humble and modest, so he doesn't talk about it a whole lot. But that definitely ties into the music scene that we have here too. So.
Because the tricky part about making a recipe for a beer is you have to think, what's it going to taste like in 6 weeks? What's it going to taste like in 3 months? And you have to brew it for the end experience. Oh, I love hearing what people have to say about it. The good, the bad, the ugly. I like when people have a strong opinion about it, because then I can reflect on what it is. Right now, it's hard enough to keep up with what we're currently making, but I haven't got a bone in my body that I always have to be making something new. So there's at least once a month we have something new.
So we're in an SLC. We're up to 62 stores right now with our XPA, St. Andrew's Cross XPA beer. Harvest stores, so they have a few different private liquor stores around the city. So we have 4 or 5 different SKUs with them now. Bishop's Cellar as well. They are downtown Halifax. We have them as well. And then we have different keg accounts around the city. The restaurants, right now it's a little slower with COVID, but last year, dead of summer, I think we had 15 to 20 different keg accounts around the city. So yeah, it's definitely starting to get out there.
Our clothing company right now is we ship all over the world. We've sold shirts in Australia and Japan and all over the place, Middle East, down in the US. And so we're hoping that the beer is going to the regulations are going to loosen, that we could start to push our product a little bit further beyond Nova Scotia as well. As an expansion to the brewery, we are planning on some stuff for 2021 to try to grow our tap room space and allow for a bigger brew space.
Nova Scotia is pretty fortunate in that we have 50 odd really, really good breweries. So I kind of pull some inspiration from a lot of those, but I don't try to be just like any of them. I think the model is changing, where, and it's kind of like the olden days where you had a pub or a brewery on for every small part of the community, and that a lot of the newer breweries that's where they are. They're the tiny brewery just for the folks who live nearby. You still have your bigger breweries, but the saturation, I don't believe so. I don't think we're anywhere near that. I think the stats say that it's under 10% of the beer sold in the province is Nova Scotia craft. So I think we have a ways to go. There's other parts of North America where they're at 20, 25%. So even if we reach those numbers, we still have a long way to go.
Next time you're in Halifax, it's definitely worth hopping on the ferry or driving over the bridge to visit New Scotland.
You get to enjoy live music, fresh pizza, delicious beer, and hang out with some friendly locals. See you next time.